G'day, I'm Moto Steve and this is MotoNews. Holy moly, do I have some stories for you guys today. So to kick things off, a story truly worthy of all the headlines. Saavik, which is an Australian electric motorcycle manufacturer, I guess you can call them now, have started taking pre-orders on their first production release. They're releasing 3 models, 3, not 2. Starting at the Omega, which has 25 kilowatts of power for 120 kilometer range, right the way through to the Alpha. There's only one in between that, but the Alpha has 60 kilowatts of power and a alleged 200 kilometer range. So these things look awesome. I'll put some specs up on the screen next to the photos. And hey, if you're an Australian like me, maybe it's worth checking them out. On that note, more electric news. It's actually all electric news today, guys. I don't know what happened in the last couple of days. It looks like since the motor show finished, it's just all about the electrics. BST have announced a slightly controversial bike. There's a bit of back and forth and banter on the internet from different people looking at them as to whether or not people like the look or dislike it. But the Hypertech, just here, I love it. This thing looks awesome. This is a electric motorcycle that is allegedly putting out approximately 100 brake horsepower with a 300 kilometer range, so right on the money there. It's got a slipper clutch, standard transmission, which means things like wheelies, burnouts, they're all back on the table. All the fun stuff you can do on a bike, you can do on one of these. So I am over the moon to see how much, or see when this comes out. The thing that worries me though is how much it may cost. So as with all these bikes that they're announcing, I'll update you guys once pricing and specs become available. There is also a new cruiser in town. Chinese Californian company. There's a little bit of disclarity around where they're actually from or based. Hayden have released the Panther. Looks like this, real American cruiser style looking bike. It's got a range of approximately 100 kilometers, range of approximately 150 kilometers with 130k an hour top speed. So for those looking for an electric cruiser that unfortunately aren't able to get a live wire, this might well be the go. In other news, probably wouldn't do them justice unless I mention our friends over at Team Green, Kawasaki. They have revealed a few more specs as well as a teaser video about their upcoming electric bike. Unfortunately, I don't have any photos because there's just no real decent photos of them. The specs that have been leaked so far really aren't anything impressive. They're talking about a 10 kilowatt motor and 100 kilometer range on a sports bike looking chassis. That's nothing super exciting. What I really suspect is that Kawasaki's dulling down the numbers until they release something. We're expecting it to be probably in the small bike category, so something of similar power to the 400cc Ninja, or depending on which part of the world you're in, possibly closer to the 250 or 300. In international news, mostly motorcycle related, the Cuban fuel crisis is only really getting worse. Unfortunately, things are looking pretty bleak over there for them, but the great news is electric motorcycle owners across the country have been stepping up. They call themselves the Motorinas, and they're going around picking up people waiting for public transport and helping them get to work and get home again of an afternoon. So not really much in the way of new bikes or cool stuff that I normally talk about it, but great people doing great things for the community. And lastly, in gear news, a European company known as Porteous, sorry, I keep checking my note on this, there's a few crazy names today, have opened up for crowdfunding on a new motorcycle loading ramp. So looks somewhat like this here. They currently apparently make racks and make loading ramps and racks in the UK. So this is just new. They're trying to break into the American and other international markets. What's exciting about this thing is that it should bolt straight to the back of your ute. Now, a little side note, if you're not Australian, this is a ute. If you are from somewhere else in the world, you're probably more when I say ute, we mean utility vehicle or truck, so something like your F-150 or your Ranger or whatever you want to call it. Sorry, I digress. The idea is that this ramp loads into the back of your vehicle or trailer, if you're so inclined, and can be operated by a cordless drill to lower it down and power lift it back up before sliding back in. If you are interested, I'll drop the Indiegogo links down below. Have a look. They've got plenty of videos and explainers there. Word to the wise though, before you go clicking, it's not exactly a budget-friendly option for those looking for an easy way to load their bikes onto the back of vehicles. But that is all that is new in the news. If you're going to, make sure you speed safely and press those buttons. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.